So, yes, good afternoon. So, my name is Glenn. I am your teacher in networking, and critical thinking in the 21st century. Our lesson for today is understanding elements and characteristics of a trend. So, any questions, clarification on this lesson? Just simply message me or type in on the comment box every time you want to contact me. Okay, so later on we're going to have, maybe next week we're going to have a online meeting. Okay, so that I can see you one by one. So let's proceed. Our topics to be discussed is, or our lesson for today is the process of identifying a trend, differentiating a trend from a fad, elements of a trend, and the characteristics of a trend. So most essential learning competencies you are going to know is differentiate the trend from a fad, explain the process of how to spot a trend, point out the elements that make up a trend, and describe the different characteristics of a trend. Okay. First, understanding the elements and characteristics of a trend. A trend is a pattern of gradual change in a condition, output, or process, or an average or general tendency of a series of data points to move in a certain direction over time, represented by a line or a curve on a graph. So if we're talking about trends, this is gradual changes. So if we say gradual changes, it will not happen right away. Okay, it starts with a small thing and going to a big thing. Okay, so gradual changes in a condition, the output from smaller output to a bigger output, from an input to an output, or a processes. A trend is a sequential pattern of change in recorded data. A change evidenced by a rise and or fall of variables when measured between at least 2 points over time. So it means that a trend is a sequence, no, na ay nahitabo, that is sequence recorded and any event in our surroundings. So it is a way of doing new things individually or one society, then followed by many people. It may become a daily routine or a tradition. So a trend daw, no? A trend is from individual or in a society. But today, it's more on individualism. You can see on Facebook, you can see on Twitter, okay? So this starts with an individualism down to the society by many people. Then it is a daily routine, no? Permi na lang, every day. A trend has a big impact in our society and it have the capacity to make a big changes in our lives. Okay? So, if you see a lot of trending news in TV, maybe you can follow one. So if we have one example of a trend, it's mostly is kanang para nimo unusual ba, no? Like yesterday, okay, uh, having watching the news, okay. So para sa nakakita adto nga ang babae gi-carry sa back sa lalaki, which is his husband, no? Gi-carry sa back. Iyan ang gi-videohan. And then pag video, okay? Pag video niya, automatic yung gisend sa Facebook na nag-viral. Then after the viralism, so nagdaghang ng nitambang niya. But in fact, iyang giuli, no? Iyang giuli ang tabang because nag-lie ko na siya. Kay gipangutana siya sa katong nag-video, sa may mong trabaho. Mo na. So nag-lie siya. So muna nauwaw siya iyang giuli. Okay? So, ang trending ato, cut the story short, ang trending ato is videos. No? Everyday unusual videos for you. So, mutabang. Okay? A trend has a big impact in our society and it had the capacity to make a big changes in our lives. Kakita ka ato niya, uy, nausap akong kinabuhi. Kaya ano, managhan ni tabang nimo. No? In a good way. So a trend is a behavior, a new way of doing things, and it has a big impact on our society. It is a sequential pattern of change in a condition, input, or process, or an average or general tendency of a series of data points to move in a certain direction over time, represented by a line of curves on a graph. So in research, if we talk about trending, okay, it will be what they call this one, it will be recorded as a graph, just like what UP research do in COVID-19. Na? So they say flattening the curve. Why? They gather data. After gathering the data, they input that one, maybe Excel, best example. Input that one in Excel and then put a graph. So automatically, you have now a trend. So that is trending. So there are different kinds of trends. You have mega trends and a micro trends. So let's go first to the mega trends. Mega trends, they are a larger pattern of broad trends that reshape and transform our lives. Mega trends entails a major restructuring. They are a larger pattern of a broad trend that reshape and transform our lives. So later on, I have an example on this. Megatrends are the driving forces that define the world today and that of tomorrow. So megatrends are characterized by being far-reaching global pattern related to behavior, modality, and environment. Okay? Klaro kayo na ha. It's very clear that mobility and environment. Example of megatrends are health, population growth, urbanization, and digitalization. What do you mean by health? COVID-19. Trending is all over the world. Population. Okay? So they say we were going to have a growth of population because of the quarantine. Okay? You know what I mean. So urbanization. So I don't recall last 2 weeks ago or last month, okay, Villiers says, why don't you make the mountain, no, flatten and put subdivisions so that people, okay, so that people can live. So that is urbanization, no? So iyang ibalhin dito niya, pero what happened to the ecosystem now? Mutlon man niya ang mga bukid. So maguba, no? So mo'y trending. Ang trending ana is the unsa man, housing. So trending karon housing, trending karon it's condominiums, okay? And digitalization. What do you mean by digitalization? Companies today registered now or registered their company over the internet. So ang ilaha pong marketing is digitalized. Nanay mga magazine digitalized, no? Nanay mga posting over the internet, especially more on social media. 10 megatrends that are shaping, okay? Shaping or reshaping our world. There are 10. So, dynamic population, growing opportunities, and growing inequality, megacities, increasing connectedness and decreasing privacy, healthier and sicker, rise of individual choice and fracturing of the mass market, rise of the individual and decline of social cohesion, cultural convergence and decrease of extremes. Also, always on versus of the greed, emergence of public opinion as revolutionary force. So, number one, mega trends that are reshaping our world. So, dynamic population. Okay, why? Why dynamic population? The global population continues to grow from 1976 to 2050. No? So it grows from 1976. On 1976, world over the world, we are only 4,136,542. But in 2016, it's much higher. Negro siya. That's trending. That is population trending. So 7,431,209. But on 2015, that is their projection, we're going to have a population of 9 million. I doubt it, 9 million. But maybe it's more. Why? Because of the pandemic. Why it's pandemic? Okay, why it is because of pandemic? Because people are inside their houses. No? So, based from the research today, there's a lot of babies uh, born today. No? Dag- Daghang na tao karon kay naay pandemic ditha tora sila sulod sa balay, wala ta kay bawo sa na sila sa balay nagrosaryo siguro, no? So powered by high birth rates in some countries. So these are plotted, ha, these are research. Nigeria, Mali, Burundi, Somalia, Uganda, Burkina Faso, Zambia, Mali, India, UAE, and so on and so forth. These are, okay, these are research uh, data coming from maybe World Health Organization, no? WHO. So, gikan ni nila. So, as projected na nila, it's 20, on 2050, it's 9 million. As I said, I doubt it. Na 9 million lang. Okay, but big chances ahead. So it's estimated from 2010 to 2015. US lang ha, and Nigeria. So maabot sila, they reach 440 million in Nigeria. So this is now the type of trend, no? Linear trend by using graphics. So nakay on the yellow, okay? The yellow part, this one, the yellow part, this is for Nigeria. Okay? On the red one, or orange one, from 3 million, no? They reached the US of 401 million. So this is a graphical representation of your trending. Second, growing opportunity and growing inequality. Daghang opportunity pero dili pareha, no? Dili fair. Why? Global population and global middle class population in 2009 and to 2030. Okay? 2009, 6.8 billion ang population. Pero in 2009, moabot siya og 1.8 billion, moabot siya og 2009, 6.8 billion. Okay? So you can compute the difference. Taas yun, no? Then you have 2020 from 3 to 7, 2030 from 4 to 8 billion. So why is it that we have growing opportunity and growing inequality? By 2030, 66 of this world middle classes will be living in Asia. Okay? Will be living in Asia. So which should be no surprise to anyone. There are more people living inside the circle, which is more on Asia. Okay? So, you've noticed, I hope you have mga uncles, no? Mga relatives na migrate sa gawas. So, better opportunities dito. Pero here is less inequality. Why? So, nagka-grow ang population, daghang trabaho pangitaon, pero less ang imuhang opportunity. That is why you go to other countries. Okay? So growing opportunity, Young in developing countries are optimistic. So, mo ni siya ang total, ha? So, some growing opportunity sa China, 78%, Brazil, 48%. So, the percentage of under 30s who expected life to be better, it's lower, no? 30s. So, ingon sila, no? They say that the growing opportunity more rely on what? Under or above 30s. So, based from the graph, no? 30s better, no? Percent of under 30s who expect that life to be better. So, taas-taas yun ang 30s, age of 30s. So, kay pila may percentage siya na sa China, overpopulated man. Nang daghan sila, taka sila pagkaon, no? Taka sila kaon na sila og baki nga, na sila og paniki. Okay? So, Central and Europe, so nearly achievable. So, mo na siya iyahang kuha, no? Graph. So, the graph states that mutaas yun, masaka ang opportunity, pero less ang imuhang inequality. Today, the population grows, but the labor force decreases. But in the Philippines, more job related ang imuhang call center. So, even though ni-graduate ka nurse, wato ka call center. Mag-graduate ka o customs, wato ka call center. So, more on the call center part ang growing niya nga kanang jobs, no? Job related. Okay. So, another one, 50% internet usage, the point where the web starts to have a real impact on economic development. So, 50% internet usage today, especially on the online. So, we use 50%, not more, only 50%, but 80%, I guess, no? We're using internet. So, the growing population is more on the internet reliability. So, adequate, growing on the opportunity sa internet, pero less in inequality because the connection is very slow. Okay? 60% of the global population has no internet access. It's true. Okay? Here in the Philippines, pila man ka percentage na walay internet? May dako kayo, di ba? No, some of you has a modular discussion. I don't know. Maybe he would like modular, but I hope design the form, katong survey form, they tell the truth if they have online internet or none, or less connectivity or none. Okay? Para makita gid nato ba, no? We can see that how many percentage yun dire. Actually, in the Philippines, for me, not 60% does not have no internet access. Okay? But 40% no internet access. If they have no internet access, okay, it's because our government or the places under that area has no cell sites. If only communication, okay, Globe, Smart, Sun, or any other communication, put up a good cell site. So maybe we can connect each other. So maybe 10% na lang mahabilin ana kay wala gyud kapalit og cellphone for connectivity, way kapalit og Android or iOS nga cellphones para maka-connect sa internet. Okay? So we have here internet users in 2016, non-users of the internet. So ang red ko it's non-users of the internet. So you've noticed, when we go to Philippines here, Unsa man, pare-pareha, no? Internet users and non-internet users. Okay? Equal. Ha? Equal. Pero I did not see the graph, I did not see the record, I did not see the data if it is true. Okay? Maybe they say on the questionnaire, no? They gather, maybe dito gibutang nga seldom baka ni gamit og internet para mabilong ka sa asa man ka sa non-internet user ba ka or internet user. Wala ta kibalo based sa research nga pila na percentage, no? What is the question all about? Like example, the range the non-users nga mogamit lang og internet twice a day. So mabilong na siya dito. Okay? Or niingon siya nga the internet user makagamit ka og internet use 4-5 days a week. Unong lang kag Saturday Sunday pahuway ka, no? Internet user na ka. So we don't know. Mo ni siya na I don't know pa sakto ba ni siya, no? Pero I won't question it. Pareha ba gyud tinuod ni sila og data. But in Turkey, you've noticed nga daghan og user, less ang non-user. Vietnam, but on Indonesia they have less internet user than non-user. Taas kayo, no? Maybe of their culture. The France, Europe man siya, no? More on the internet user sila. Mexico, UK, samot. No, taas internet user na sila. Kay tanan nilang kuan, cellphone connected to the internet, no? Germany, Nigeria, poor country. Russia, more internet users. Japan, samot. Brazil, USA, samot. But India and China, no, is about the same population lang ni nakataas sila, no? India, daghan jud kay kubre dito, no? To the right. More on web developers I encountered Indians man. More on the web designers are encountered. It's more on Indians. Okay? And China, overpopulated in China, so pare-pareha ra, no? Base ra. Kaya naman, pobre man sa ni sila. Dato ang China, pero daghang mga pobre dito. Walang ipakita kay komunista man. Okay? Growing inequity, it worries us. Percent agreed. Having large difference in income and wealth is bad for society overall. Okay, having large differences in income and wealth is bad for society at all. Why? Kay natunga man, no? Daghan kay pobre, gamay ra kay dato. Napoy dato na hilas kayo mo daw sa mga pobre. So, mo na siya, inequality na siya. Kaya naman sila kwarta. So, makapatay gani ang pobre, sa tinuod, priso. Pero makapatay ang dato, sa tinuod, dili mapriso. Nay, uban. Okay. Megacities. Okay, kini. Percentage of the world's population living in urban areas. So, 2019, 34. Pag-abot sa 2015, ilahang gi-project is kung ano gyud, no? Urban areas. Daghan na mupuyo sa urban areas. Okay, nga naman, the urban population is increasing by 50,000 per day. So, sige lang panganak. So, 1.5 million a month, a city the size of Prague, capital city of the Czech Republic na siya. So, a month nila, it's 1.5. So, 18 million a year the population of Chile. Africa will gradually replace Asia as the region with highest urban growth rate. Lagos, Cairo, and Kinshasa. Okay? So, city living, a choice rather than sa city. Okay? Nga naman, why city living a choice rather than sa city? It's because, Otan Monggos? No. It's because your job, it's inside the city. There are a lot of opportunities in the city. That's why sometimes you live in the urban areas. Wala nagsikit-sikit ang higdaanan basta dikit adiliday. So bahalag sikit-sikit basta nalay mahigdaan, no? So want to live in cities. India, China have to live in cities, no? Want to live in cities. Want to live in cities. It's India o China. Pero have to live in cities. South Korea down to Belgium. So, kana rang duha ang gusto mo ato cities. So, we have a graph showing that, no? Migrate na sila from urban cities. So, number 4, increasing connectedness and decreasing privacy. Okay. Increasing connectedness and decreasing privacy. Sa siya, okay, na atay daghang connectivities today. Microsites, direct marketing, homepage takeover, augmented reality, direct marketing, microblogging, online video, viral video, cinema. So, nanas online ang cinema, pirated ba, microsites, posters, and so on and so forth. So, in 1980s, there's only 4 or 5, no? Connectivities, digital marketing, TV or cinema, radio, poster, billboards, and press. But today, it's a lot. Na search ad, na digital radio, no, digital billboards, na natay direct mail, no, na natay mga mobile apps, especially on the social networking profiles. So, sa dili magkita, uy, naman siya sa Facebook, uy, dugay na ko kakita niya. Okay? Kaya nanamtay connectivity, but lesser security. So 60% of the global population has no internet access. Tumo, dili. So of 83% of global internet users say access to the web should be a basic human right. Yes, it's true. No, basic human rights to access to the internet. But you have to very, very careful, no, of what you click over the internet. Kinaan niya magkakurente diha, no? Every time you click. So, percent agreed. I worry that companies can access my posts on social networking sites for information about goods and services I have purchased. So these are the worries. Ang total niya from France down to China, no, here, gikan diha sa France, padong sa China, total of 60%. Taas-taas na worries niya. Pero from Canada to Japan, no, 66 gihapon. So this is security matters, and it is changing our behavior. So the level of interrupt, the sort of overwhelming rapidly of information, in fact, no, affecting cognition. Ang sama ko na, the level of interrupt, the sort of overwhelming rapidity of information is in fact affecting cognition. Yes, sige tagsalig, no? We're always looking down, no? Nga naman, kay sus, nag-internet di ay, abi na kung sige lang dugo, kinauwaw. Sige, nag-internet, no? So, if you have face-to-face, tawagon sa maestro, sige magdugo, nga naman. Abi na ko, baho o baba, pwede day. Kuan day, sige day o. Kung saman, sige day internet. Dili mo isa, kay sige internet. Sige text, okay? So, Facebook home could change our brains. Sige na lang, every morning, inigsaka mata, uy, Facebook dito. No? Pag gani ka panutras, Facebook. Pag gani pang limog mo, Facebook. Pag gani makaligo, Facebook. Antod, ang itawag sa imo ha, Facebook. Okay, so 70% 78% in China says that they are constantly looking at screens these days. That's why today, no, in uh, disciplining a child is very, very difficult. Why? Because before, in disciplining a child, sab-an gyud, no? Bunalan, muhilak gamay, badlungon, muhilak gamay, ingnon na, ganun, sige mo kaghilak, no? Why are you always crying? So, badlungon, karon inighilak, duduan ng cellphone, man na, inighilak, duduan ng tablet. Okay? So, 79%, okay, and it's changing. So, kini siya, 78 or 79% of Chinese under 30s feel restless or uneasy if they don't look at their phone for an hour. So, this is from 78 to 79% today. So, before, dili kayo sila particular more in the internet, more on Facebook, more on cell phones. But today, na sa Korea, no? China ra ganin eh. Okay? Healthier and sicker. Anong healthier and sicker, sir? Okay? Global life expectancy is rising. Okay? Global life expectancy is rising. Ano man? Most in Latin Americas, sige lang kaon, oh, tambok. No? So instead of mabuhi sila 90 years old, 100 years old, buhay lang sila 70, 60, 65. No? Okay, because of the food they intake on their bodies. Now today, COVID-19. So, kinsa may highest or top nurture karon nga country, it's the US. Pila ka everyday maabot lang, no, maabot og pila ka thousands of infected individuals. It's because wa sila motuo kay nawa mo na virus, no? And some of those who infected but follow the quarantine procedure died, or let's say infected, maybe mild or moderate, because of their food intake. So, ingon man sila nga, ang immune system, no? Imong immune system should imong pa-increase para dili ka ma-infected. So, saan pag-increase sa immune system? Kung imong kinaon, pulos tambok. Okay? Burgers, french fries, chicken. So, sige kakao chicken. Okay? So, based from the American research, automatically, once pag-introduce sa McDonald's, once pag-introduce sa sana sila dito KFC, no? Here, once they introduce Jollibee, McDonald's, KFC, what else? Burger King, okay? The obesity of the people rises also. Sa una, magkagmay kay sila, athletic, karon dili na. Which is true, no? Even, in fact, here in the Philippines, sige kaon, og burger. Mo na silang obese na sila. Yeah, pero obese, daggo lagi, pero unhealthy. Okay? But there is still work to do. Okay? Some organization like UNICEF, no, do their job in the life expectancy. Nga naman, like example, some countries don't have any drinking water. So, sa gitabang nila, nagbutang sila saman, mga tabay para mabuhi lang. Okay? So, if you research kanang Somalia, ukri kay na kayong mga malnourished. So, life expectancy bata pa gani, mga matay na. Kaya wala may proper kanang health
procedures implement to help the people. So 90% now have access to improved drinking water. This is more on the other third world countries. Kay before, sus, wala di water. In fact, in the Philippines, also, naapuntaan pero less lang. No? So life expectancy, dali na mga sakit, dali na mga matay. So 2,000 child deaths from diarrhea, no? Sum na siya in 2000. So millennium target missed 700 million people. 1 in 3 of the world's population do not have access to the adequate sanitation facilities. So mga third world countries ni siya ha, na kuan kana trends. So mo ni mga trending karon. So you don't know nga napa ni, wala mga tubig, wala mga health kuan, mga hospitals, no, health access to the hospitals, health access to their barangay. So naagihapon na siya. Uncertain, number one, uncertainty, can our healthcare system cope? So uncertainty, makakup up pa ta sa atong kwan, uncertainty. Today, unsa may uncertain na to ron, that all medical practitioners will not be infected in COVID-19. So mo na gina ilahang pangita no nga tanan dili ma-infected. Uncertainty number two, our own lifestyle choices. Most of the world's population now lives in countries where being overweight or obese kills more people than being underweight. Okay? So, sige lang kaon, so unhealthy food. Turkey, we think 32% of us overweight or obese. So, mana siya ilang think. So, 65% are overweight or obese. They're thinking 32%, but of the total, no, in the actual, 65% daw ang obese sa ilaha. So that's trending also in their country. Uncertain number three, climate change. Globally, 70% agreed there's solid evidence that Earth is getting warmer. Okay, so based from the graph, all of the countries says na nahitabo gyud, no? The climate change happens. That is another trending, global trending. Rise of individual choice and fracturing of the mass market. Where was Apple 3 years ago? 1976 na pa ba Apple computer? Wala. Typewriter lang. No? Today, naidaghan. No? Na airbook, iPad. No? So, but big brands are not always American. Correct? Okay? So, individual choices ha? Individual choices is brand. Nga naman, okay, some of us chooses Samsung, some of us chooses Oppo, Vivo, unsa pa na. No? So, we have our own choices. That's global. Okay, ingam siya. None big brands are not always American. It's correct. US, it's more on Apple. German is more on Motorola before. Motorola and Toshiba. Germany and UK, it's Finland is more on Nokia. No, France, China is more on what? Oppo, Vivo, I think, no, Huawei, and Switzerland is more on Nokia. Canada, South Korea is Samsung. Netherlands is more on Nokia. Spain, Nokia. Brazil, I don't know, in Russia, in Italy is. So some European countries today chooses Samsung over iPhone. Brands in also in cars, banks, no. So banks, Santander banks niya, international bank, and then other brands. So we have an option to choose. branding yapon na siya, no? Trending yapon na siya. The mass market, what we are used to is changing. Example, motoring. So, in motoring, before, kinilang yun ng webpage. But today, there's a lot more on motoring nga website. So, na siya daghang kompetensya. So, naa kay Toyota, naa kay Mitsubishi, Suzuki, Honda, so on. So we have our own choices. Napuy uban mupalit og sakyanan pilion na niya pero napuy uban usa ra gyud ka brand. For me, in my laptop I have my first laptop sa Asus, no? So hangtod karon today I am using also Asus. Dili Asus, Asus. The mass market, what we are used to is changing. Example to, business presentation. Okay? Slide presentation, na Netflix, na yung Uber, na yung manana, no? So, natay opportunities. Rise of the individual and decline of social cohesion. The traditional family structure are changing. Number of marriage per 1,000 population. So, many countries, in 1970s, marriage ko, no? Ingon sila nga, believe sila og marriage. 1970s, no, 8%. Or may 80% believe of marriage. In 2015, up to now, they don't believe in marriage. Unsa man, live-in. No? Wala, bata pa gani, live-in na. Kay balo, unsay future. Single-person households are the fastest-growing household profile in the period of 2030. So, single-person household, the fastest-growing. So, Asia, hantod Western Europe. So, cause of optimism, societies are not breaking down. Crime against the person and against property is falling and the most rich, no? Falling in the most rich countries. Crimes. Nga naman, kay magkadako gani, no? Rise of individual and decline of social cohesion. So, beliefs, gamay, maray, matagas gani. Kay wala man ma-properly coordinated, man properly, wa sila ma-properly sultihi ba? Unsa bagay tinuod, unsay sakto sa dili. Then, but crime is rising in developing markets. So, muna siya, lower crimes in countries, middle crimes in countries. So, gi-graph, gihapon na siya, no? So, magkataas ang population class, magkataas po na unsay na happen. So, in this case, lower in countries, drugs, middle income countries, problema ang high, ano man, nagamit kapalit. Drug trafficking, lower countries, middle countries, ang high, dili. Ano man, ang drug trafficking, lower countries man, middle countries, pobre man. Okay? Ang homicide, patay, lower countries, luba dito, sa duwa, may hinungdan, no? So, ana. And then, vehicle theft, robbery, and rape. Cultural convergence and increasing extremes. So, Chinese, most native speakers, no? Nanay uban nga, especially in China, unsa ilahang language, ora gina. Okay? Sorry. Cultural convenience and increasing extremes. So, unsa sa China, ora gina siya, no? Pero nayuban, like example, they decrease Hindu, English, Arabic, Spanish. It's because na may mga other people nga nag-migrate ani nga mga countries, especially in English. Ana daghang Tagalog dito, no? Bisaya, na daghang Arabic, ana daghang English, Spanish, na daghang English or other countries. Okay? Cultural convergence. Case study, those who jobs involve interaction with other countries. Okay? Language spoken with colleagues from other countries. Okay? Ngano man, kay 9 countries magpadala, no? they're sending their bosses to other countries. Like in our case, in my cousin's company, okay, the owner is a US, no, US based country. So all of these bosses are Americans, and some Filipinos in that country, no, they send that one to the US. So kabalo ang sometimes ang Amerikano, ma'am ka na mo sometimes ang Amerikano, kibaw na lang mo Tagalog. Okay? Nya kita po, English speaking ng tadaan, so may nakita mo English. So languages spoken with colleagues from other countries. So this is the graph on English. Of course, English gina siya, no? Colleagues English ka. Ang Spanish, daghan na English siguro sa goal na ni. Mandarin, English, French, German, Arabic, Hindi, and so on. But Swedish and Korean, gamay ra kayo ang iyang colleagues nga English or other spoken other countries, no? English ba, Chinese ba, nakas Korea, Chinese ba, or nakas Korea, English ka ba, nakas Korea, Tagalog ka ba, and so on. Spending our free time at the movies. Okay, English language continues to dominate. So, di mo ta kasabot og lain. But today, no? Before, when we see a movie, then other countries nga ipasalida, walay subtitle, karon na, no? In fact, sometimes they have unsa man kanang mga subtitle nga nindot. Ay nang bati nga subtitle. Kanang sakto nga subtitle ba, no? Basig ang in English mo na, di ba? Nga subtitle. But today, more English language continues to dominate, like Jaws, number one na sila, mga Star Wars, mga Jurassic Park, no? The Rocky Horrors, the Rocky Horror, no? Wildness Family, Rollerball, Minions, Spectre, Inside Out, Mission Impossible, and so on and so forth. So more on the English part. But abot adto lang pud ka sa mga Netflix, more on Koreans ang Netflix, no? Especially more on kanang mga TV series, English man na siya. Cultural diversity is religion uniting or dividing the world. Okay. Most people in the world today identify with a religion. Yes, naa jud kay religion. So global trending gyapon na magdebate globally sa imong religion. 65% agreed people have more things in common than things that may make them different. Correct. Turkey, 81% agreed people have more things in common than things that make them different. That's global trend. Globally, 70% agreed we live in an increasingly dangerous world. It's correct. Okay? Because of the climate change. Turkey, 89% agreed we live in an increasingly dangerous world. Globally, 56% agreed there are too many immigrants. Correct. No, kay pobre naman kita, daghan kita corruption diri. Naiuban, kapuya ni corruption ay akong kwarta dili makita. So, migrate na siya kay mabuhi man sila dito. No? Madato man sila ang ilahang dollar dadon diri mas dako man. So Turkey 79% agreed there are too many immigrants. Ay, balik naman tayo, sorry. Always on versus of the greed. I agreed feel under a lot of pressure to be successful and make money. So in your case, no, always on versus of the greed. So here, in your case, magkaanak ka, sus, mag-graduate ka, baka no? No? So you think that success should be taken seriously, no? Dili mo take seriously ang imong success. Kay dili nimo i-take
seriously on success, wala gigay ma-happen. Okay? So I feel under a lot of pressure to be successful and make money. So taas kayo ang percentage all over the world na dili maka-feel sila nga pressure sila, no? Nga makahuman gyud, pressure sila nga makatrabaho gyud, pressure sila nga successful ilang career. So I agree, or percentage agreed, it is more important to have a good work life balance than to have a successful career. Okay. So, karon in the Philippines, naidaghan ngon ani, no? Sige man kog trabaho, wala koy kanang happy sa ko. So, ingon ani gihapon. But globally, money ang percentage na they think you have a work-life balance. So, one-fifth global employees now work remotely at least some of the time. Correct. Na, there's a lot more jobs at home, work from home today than yesterday, especially on the pandemic side. Okay? Let's skip that one. 65% want to work for an organization with a powerful social conscience. More or less, all business started out with a social purpose of a kind. What's been lost in recent decades is the interconnectivity between the needs of society and the innovative dynamism of business. So the future may look more like a rediscovery of this social purpose of business. So, in global system, especially today, no, what is more trending? Selling online. Okay? Muna, niingon na po ang DTI nga butagaag tax or ang BIR also niingon tagaag tax na lang, no, ang naka-online sell, which is for me is not good, no. Then ang DTI niingon sila nga especially on the plants business, tagaan nila og unsa man SRP, suggested retail price, and ay uban mamaligyag sa tawag ni mo ana kanang plants moabot ng 4,000 bisag naras tukaran ninyo, uy miingon lang ka gigunting-gunting naman ni nako sa una, so, mahal pa dayan ni, no? So that is more on social purpose of business. Okay. Maybe we will have more free time on our hands than we expect. Okay? So today, as globally trends, ang Japanese tagsara kay na mo trabaho, more on gawas-gawas na ilaha. Korean more on gawas-gawas, pero ang Philippines more on trabaho, no? Emergence of public opinion as revolutionary force. Okay, widespread of dissatisfaction with how we are governed. So, muna dissatisfied. So, on percentage of dissatisfied the way the government is running the country, so there's a lot, especially in the Philippines, nidaghan, no? Naidaghang satisfied how the government runs today, especially in the COVID times. But katong mga against, gamay ra gito sila. Okay. The rapid growth of the precariat is producing instability in society. It is a dangerous class because it is internally divided, leading to the villainization of migrants and other vulnerable groups. And its members may be susceptible to the sirens calls of political extremism. Okay? So, daghang mga tambay. Okay? So, daghang tambay, daghang immigrants today in other countries. So, daghang mga migrate, especially on the US, kay man kono, land of the free, man kono ang US. Nung daghang migrate. So, daghang migrate,
wala na po yung mga trabaho kay dito. No? Mga na ilahang workforce is per hour. Wala more on ka na stable jud kaya ba? No? Okay? So these are the 10 dynamic or these are the 10 mega trends trending globally. So dynamic population, growing opportunities, mega cities, increasing connectiveness, healthier, rise of individual and decline of social cohesion, cultural convergence, increasing extreme, always versus of the greed, emergencies of public opinion as revolutionary force. So, next meeting, we're going to discuss microtrends. Okay?
Thank you.